What's going on? How are we doing, everybody? Let's get it. Come on. Come on. In the chat room. You know how we do it. Age, city, gender, let's get it. Come on. Big Ike, what up? What up? Shout out to all the alpha females tonight. Woo! Don't get mad at your Godfather. I love you. Oh, but it's gonna be tight. Oh no. Let's see. I'm gonna piss some people off here tonight, boy. Before the Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How's everybody doing tonight? Godfather's back in full effect. Oh, shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. One love to the FBI. You feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies out there. Oh, who do I have on the camera? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and make sure I get this right. See, this is what a feminine woman looks like. A feminine woman looks like. You notice the dress. You notice the heels. You know, feminine. Those things are important. And we are going to get into something tonight that needs a little bit more a discussion. This is a subject that I have been asked by many men and several women to discuss. And the general topic is this. These alpha females, strong, independent, educated, career alpha females. What we gonna do about it? I've been asked to discuss this from many women. Many women. Why? Why? Because there are many women who have asked the question and said this, like, look here, Kevin, I watch your show, I watch the platform, I see what you're doing, I understand the whole, trying to help men become the best version of themselves. But look, women, it's different for us. A lot of ladies we run out of time. We're coming to your platform now Many of us are over 25, 27 years old. Some of us over 30. Some of us have even made what you call mistakes. And understand, it's not that I call them that. Society calls it that. And what are we supposed to do? What's a college educated career woman who you even say you feel sorry for Generation X and folks like that because you're lied to? What are these women supposed to do? Shrivel up and die? Just act like, oh well, the music stopped, you don't have a chair, game over, and just go in a corner somewhere. First of all, answer direct to that question is no. You're not supposed to shrivel up and die. Go in a corner somewhere. Two, it's in some, depending upon the person that asked the question, it can be kind of disingenuous. But what I want to talk about tonight is a particular woman. I've talked about Hillary, the it girl. Hillary is the it girl. Hillary is the epitome of femininity. Hillary got wifed up right out of college, and she's been off in the suburbs living the soccer mom dream. Then of course we've talked about Tina and Angie. Tina, pretty girl, attractive girl, an adjustable 6. Tina could easily get guys, Tina could qualify with her looks for guys, high value men, guys like Marcus, guys like Keith, guys like Blake, Ahmed, Keith, and Enrique, the Henrys, the high earners, not rich yet. But, she's at a, eternal 7. We talked about her. Then we talked about Angie, the girl that's, the 5, the 6, the average looking girl, the K Michelle of the group. The one that always felt like she had to work so hard because the other girls got more natural benefit and she had a little chip on her shoulder. Well, a lot of your strong, independent, educated, career women come from the Angie group. But there is a certain breed, strong, independent, educated, career, alpha female, alpha woman, that I call her, she's a unique blend. She's like the ultimate Karen. Now, you guys have been familiar, if you've been looking at a newspaper, or not a newspaper, but anywhere online, you've seen the epidemic of Karens. These histrionic personality types, women losing their minds and turning in black folks left and right. And I've often said, before we had Karens on social media, we had black women who were Karens in the workplace. Black Karens acting like white girls. I call them Karen Whites. And Karen Whites tend to be that strong, independent, educated, career, alpha female. And I make the distinction because she is a different kind of animal than Angie or even Tina. Two of these people can be saved. One of them, you better watch out. But before we get into it, guys, we got to make sure we keep the likes up. Keep the likes up over 50%. Keep the engagement up. We got 1,500 people in here watching. People are probably shocked that we're getting started a little earlier. So, guys, get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. What does it mean to be an alpha female? Well, if you just looked at the animal kingdom, most mammals, the leader of the pack is the male. He's the dominant one, the alpha male, like the lion. Come on. He's bigger than the lionesses. They do the hunting, but he protects the pride. But I think it's funny when you hear a lot of things being called hyenas. Hyenas, more matriarchal, as far as I understand. And they tend to have an alpha female. What is an alpha female? An alpha female is a woman that goes and tries to compete in a man's world. And she can do it. It's not just a matter of book it's not just a matter of the books, learning the material. It's a matter of wanting to get in there and be a part of the boys club. You know, you tend to find these personality types in certain professions. Law has a lot of alpha females. Politics at the national level tend to, well, at several levels, tend to have alpha females. What are some other careers? Medicine, high-end medicine like surgeries, anything, any place where a god complex can come into it, you tend to have alpha females. Also in sales. So, in my time in corporate America, I spent it in business to business sales. At the entry level, everybody came in there. But as you begin to move up the chain, a certain kind of woman started to separate herself from the pack. The Stephanies of the world, Stephanie, this is a woman I used to work with. She was the friendly girl that made cookies, and she was always bubbly and smiling. You know, she was the pep squad leader. You know, Stephanie, she could always make her quota, plus some. And she was just friendly and people liked her. But there was a cap on Stephanie. Stephanie did not have the killer instinct. I'm not going to say this woman's name because she shares the same name as somebody on YouTube. So I'm going to call her Samantha. Remember Sex in the City? Samantha? Her and the redhead. Alpha females. Well, I forgot the redhead's name. What was the redhead? Somebody type the redhead's name in the comment section. Samantha was Stephanie on steroids. Sam was confident. Sam was accomplished. Sam had a degree. Sam could get in there. She would smoke cigars and drink scotch with the boys. And she's the kind of alpha female that guys kind of like. She was almost like a female wingman. Cynthia. Cynthia's a redhead. Well, I got to say the name anyway. Cynthia will be. Cynthia, on the other hand, was the polar opposite. She had the same kind of degree, education as Sam, but she lacked all of the social graces. She was a real pain in the butt to deal with. She was the alpha female that leaned to the feminist equality. She was the one that everybody avoided. And those two kind of women tended to separate themselves in the corporate world. Stephanie's still down here. Stephanie would probably end up getting married like Stephanie did and going and became a housewife. But a lot of women in the black community, a lot of women went to college with the idea of becoming Stephanie, Samantha, or Cynthia. They didn't know. They just decided they wanted to get out and do more than their mother did. So I don't begrudge a lot of women for getting out, wanting to live in a big city, get your own apartment, fabulous life. Sex in the City did a great job at marketing. But what it did not tell is that they were running out the clock. And that the aggressive tendencies of Samantha and Cynthia, you pay a price for it because you're not a guy. You're not a guy, and you can get out there and run with all the guys and get out there and drink scotch and bourbon and smoke cigars and have wild sexual escapades. But what Samantha knew and understood, Cynthia got upset about it. She thought it was unfair that there was a double standard. All right, so flash forward to the black community. Back up. Even for Samantha and Cynthia in the Sex and the City world, there is still a way out of that environment for non-black women. But for black women, that's what we're going to touch on tonight. Is there really a way out for alpha females? Whether it's Samantha, whether there's Cynthia, or are they stuck? Because I hear often from women who say, I am married, yet I struggle to stay in my feminine role with my husband, and now it's causing issues in our marriage. Or and that's for the guys who are upstream from their husbands. But where the real problem tends to come in, a lot of these women tend to marry guys and go into that power couple thing. And when she starts to outpace him, starts to out earn him, issues and things come up. Why? Because to be a alpha female in the black community is problematic. Let's talk about it. 2,100 people watching. How many likes do we have? Oh, we got to get the likes up. I'm going to refresh and I'm going to see what the likes are like. And if they're not up there, we're going to go to intermission. Yep. Get my likes up. I'm not playing with y'all. Four, three, two, one. Get them up. Come on. A 100 more likes and we get going. All right. Back to the alpha female, the black women. Alpha females separate themselves not in the career path, they separate themselves on the college campus. You had two alpha females. One pledged AKA, one pledged Delta. The Delta tended to be a little bit more, had a little bit more sassy of an attitude. The AKA, she tended to be able to play her role a little bit better. She could even be like Samantha, but she knew that a boys' club, she respected the rules. You go out into the corporate world, and so many alpha females, black women, try to think that they can move like white women, and you can't. Samantha and Cynthia can get away with things that that Angie and Karen White cannot get away with, because you already have the stigma of an attitude. Now, the very things that help you break the glass ceiling and get into the boys' club are the very things that tend to hurt you when you're trying to move up past a certain point or marry. Why? Because one, alpha females tend to remain single, tend to remain unmarried. And in the last 20 plus years, alpha females have also started to have another problem. Alpha females have always been confident. They have always been degreed or educated. But now we have two factors that have really started to affect alpha females in the black community more than anything else. Their weight and being out of wedlock mothers. Oh, we're going there. We're going there. Why is it that other women can come into these spaces and compete with these alpha personality types, but they can decide to switch it off, turn it off, or get better options? And I know there are going to be plenty of sisters that say, well, because they have men that are upstream from them to pick from, and when you're an alpha driven female of the black community, you have slim pickings because the men aren't there, they're gay on the down low, or like white women. Well, that's bullcrap. On this program, we're proving that's not to be the truth. Sorry, black men are out there. Black men are firmly in the middle class, and there are plenty of black men who are out there in the Henry class. The facts, the data, statistics are out there. Go prove it to yourself. 51% of black men are single and childless. 64% are in the middle class. Black men in America are doing better than ever before. There are plenty of black men out there who, in decades gone by, alpha females would have been married to. And that's the deciding factor for a lot of alpha females. In corporate America, in the work world, there is a marriage cap on individuals. I talk about it a lot for men. There is a glass ceiling to where single men will not get beyond in mass. It's mid-management. You could be entry-level management, but the numbers of entry-level management to mid-management for guys who are single is exponentially low. It's a married man's club. Married and divorced, at least you've been married. And men understand that if they want to move up in the company, move up in the world, a lot of men understand that they need to get married. They need to have the picture of being a family man and kids. But we're not going to talk about them today because men control access to relationship. Whether the marriages are good, bad, indifferent, I'm not going to touch that today because that will derail the whole thing. I'm not worried about the men today. I'm talking about the women. Alpha females cannot get married. They cannot get married like their male counterparts. Alpha males, high value males, select male, whatever you want to term them, men who are over on this side can choose to get married. Alpha females have always had a problem marrying, especially in the black community. But when you start adding on a couple more things, one, you can be confident, you can be educated, but you cannot be overweight. Overweight means you knock yourself out of contention for a lot of men that would normally consider you for a mate. There have been countless women who've come onto this platform, other content creators, other influencers, who have even affirmed this point when you're talking about dating out or anywhere else. And here's the thing. This is the one thing that I look at a lot of my black women and say, this is something that's 100% in your control. See, it's not your career that's a problem for a lot of the men that would normally be prospects. It's not your education. It's not any of that stuff. It's your attitude. It's your attitude. And your attitude has a lot to do with why so many women just refuse to go get fit, go exercise, do anything else. And then the next problem that crops its head up is when women decide to go have a child. Well, let me tell you, if you consider yourself to be an alpha female, I'm strong, independent, educated, career, I'm not married and have a child. Plenty of women go make a baby pack, go get a baby out of wedlock. Again, the largest group of women in the black community who are unwed mothers are black women over in the danger zone.
Danger zone.
We're not talking teen mothers. Why is this a problem? Well, it's only a problem if you want to continue to go up the corporate ladder or if you want to marry. It's not your degree. It's not your ability. It's not your confidence. More than anything else, it's an attitude, weight, and then children. This is why so many alpha females cannot find the men they seek. It's not as though the men aren't there, the men just aren't checking for them. So, conversely, who do you tend to find alpha females coupled with? You can hear a lot of women say they deal with these men, but they don't get married. Who do you find a lot of these women coupled with? And they tend to be coupled with beta males. Beta males are lower value men. High value alpha women in the black community tend to be with lower value men. Because those men have an incentive to deal with all the issues that come along with them. The attitude, the weight, the children. High value men, they're not going to deal with that. So sadly, many women find themselves in this weird position. They're educated, intelligent, accomplished, driven, all these things. And on paper, it would sound lovely to most people. But yet they are chronically single and no prospects. And one of the major things I hear a lot of women in this position talk about, they have a problem with femininity. That's an issue, but it's that word submission. Submission is what so many women in this category struggle with. But it's funny that many of them are submitted to an org chart. You're submitted to the executives, the board. You submit all the time. But it's submitting in an interpersonal relationship with a man that is a problem for these particular alpha females. Why? Why can women of other races, other groups be educated, intelligent, have a career? Why can Sam and Sin decide to get married and pull a lever, push the button, and get out? But black women, you could not make Sex in the City with those two women deciding to get in relationships. It wouldn't work. They're missing the man component. So what do we do? So ladies, what do you do? What do you do? Well, for the last 20 years, the popular thing to do was to blame men. To blame men. Oh, all the black men out there on my level, they don't exist. I've heard black women on YouTube say that black men at a certain level don't exist in the presence of black men on that level. Because the very existence of those men would destroy her worldview. And that was popular to say black men at that level did not exist. Or if they did exist, they were gay, on the DL, or they wanted white women. Now, what happens if you can show that they exist and they want to marry black women? What's the problem? Why are strong, independent, educated, career-driven, alpha females, black women, chronically single and no prospects? Why can't these women get married? Why can't they get with Marcus or Keith? Why won't they deal with Aaron or Greg? Tonight we're going to talk about it. Because I want to hear from you ladies. What do you think some of the issues are with you in particular? If you're like, no, Kevin, you're wrong. It's not the weight. It's not the attitude. It's not even, and then it's not even in the case of we have kids. That's not it. Well, what is it? What do you think the issues are? Well, men just don't like, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what I missed, what I got wrong. Are there no men out there? Let's talk about it. The show you've been asking about is why so many women are having alpha females. Alpha females are having such a problem in relationships, getting a relationship, keeping a relationship. Time to open the call lines and get into it. Now, what I'm going to say is be respectful. Be respectful in the chat room, guys. This is a sensitive subject. We're not here to embarrass anybody and here to troll anybody. I want to have some good interactions because I think there's some women out there who have a lot to say. But in the meantime, let's get it. People, let's see. How many people have lost their channels this week? 6 people have lost their channels this week for using my content. I'm not playing with y'all. When I say don't use my content, I mean it. Don't use my permission. 6 channels in 2 days. Now, and they were all channels that were monetized. Don't play. Let's see.
Say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, guys, I've had people decide that they think they can just come to my platform and copy my content and do what they want to. I've got 2 people in federal court right now. So I'm letting you know, folks, I'm not playing with you. I think a lot of folks just think this is a game and they think that these videos are just what they want to. When you sign that YouTube form, you got your information out there. I'm not going to say anything. Keep playing. Keep playing if you want to. Now, if you want to use my content, request permission. And if I grant it, cool. If not, I'll keep taking y'all's money. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. We're the only group of people that feel like that we can just, because black people, we have just no chill. It's like, I see it, I'll use it. Nah, you can't have that.
Yeah. Luna. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work, si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, de corazón. Yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunático.
Let's get it. Alpha females. And here's the thing. You're going to ask silly questions, get a silly answer. If you want to make a super chat to say something silly and get banned, knock yourself out. Here's the thing. Careers don't intimidate. There are high value men out there who want their wives, who don't mind career women. Let's knock it off thinking that every guy out here wants a stay-at-home wife. That's not it for everybody. There are people who want to be yuppies. There want people who want to be dinks, double incomes, no kids. I know guys in my personal circle who don't want any children. They want their woman to make money and they make money. They still run it. He's still in charge, but she is competitive and out in the world. But when she comes home, they're together. But here's the problem. Can you do this effectively with a black woman? I want to hear from the sisters. What are the issues you're having? Because before, yeah, we got to get into it. Can you effectively can you come home and actually do what you need to do in the relationship? Stay at home, you got time to cheat. I don't know what some of you guys have to talk about. Now, one of the issues that I will say that I have heard come up, and I even mentioned it to another caller one day. If you're a woman who has this high education, but if you ultimately want to stay at home, why'd you go get all that degree? All that degree. Why is he leading if she's paying the bills? Hey, don't ask me that in the comments. Ask me that on the show. See, I did not say she was paying bills. Stop projecting. Stop projecting. See, a lot of women try to change the subject. Well, no. Deal with what's going on in your life. Always the same question. Can you actually get along with a man? Or are you doomed to do what so many women have chosen to do? Good at work, bad at relationship. And if so, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it? Because there are plenty of people there are plenty of folks, there are plenty of women who can do both. Why is it such a problem for many of our sisters to be able to live in both worlds? Do you have a fair shot? Because I heard plenty of women say, other women can get out here and have all these options. Black women are limited to our options. Okay. Why? Why you say that? Now you asked to do the show. Join the show, ladies. Let's get into it. Oh, here we go. Let's get into it. Is it the weight? Is it the kid? Is it the education? Are men intimidated by you? What's going on? Because we've knocked out a big part of the problem saying that brothers don't exist on that level. Yeah, they do. And if you're in the danger zone, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are the plans? What are the plans for the rest of the life? Because you're gonna live on one income. While your colleagues and your competitors are living on two, you're gonna live on one, and you are going to be limited. You're going to be limited and get passed. In your youth, you may get promoted and moved up, but there comes a time where you're going to get passed, especially if you mess around and decide to have a child without a husband. I know people right now who had booming careers, had a child, and their career has been stuck on pause because they are doing it by themselves. Doing it by yourselves limits you. That's what it comes down to. Doing it by yourself limits you. You cannot compete with the men who have wives at home. Now let's get into it. You cannot compete against the men who have wives at home. You're staying in the office working 12, 14-hour days. And they got somebody at home, got their back. They got somebody at home who can do the errands. You will be exhausted. Age yourself out. All right, Samantha, you're going to have to get your microphone on. Yeah. Find me a 40-year-old single black woman who is an executive. And I'll show you a rare person. Show me one that has a child. Unmarried and chose to be the baby mama. Woo, we getting into it tonight. Get my likes up, damn it. Get my likes up. I'll stay dark. We'll shut this shit off. Get them up. We need over another 1,000 likes. Come on.
You know what? I am the strong. get your fucking shot, John.
Great.
You know what? I am a strong, independent woman.
Get my likes up, damn it.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
33.
33. All right. So, why'd you come on saying, ha ha ha, what's up?
Oh, I didn't even know you saw that. So literally, as soon as I pressed request, then I got accepted.
Okay. So, would you rather be right or would you rather have a man, or do you plan on living with a woman for the rest? And living with a woman till the end?
And those are my only three options that I have to answer, right?
Well, either you're going to have a man, but if you got to be right, you ain't going to have a man. So if you don't have a man, you're either going to live by yourself. That means you got to be rich, or you're going to live with a woman.
Got it. So if those are my three options, then being right is not necessarily what I would put as top priority. But it's just that it feels like you're forcing me into a box.
Yeah, it's called
Because what if I
complaint.
wanted to live with a cat? I'm just saying. There are other options, right?
Not really. Because regardless of what sort of animal you decide to live with, the point is, what is your ability to live with a man? Like most women, like women of other races, can tend to cohabit with their men. What you gonna do?
I mean, I would love to cohabitate with my man when you know, and so being right all the time seems like that would be something that would not have me cohabitate with anyone. You know, you have to be able to compromise, and being right is not necessarily important. That's not something that you should prioritize.
It shouldn't be, but how often do you realize that when I go back and forth with women, they need to be right?
First off, I am one of those women who are in support of women. So
You're a
I
feminist?
understand.
You're a feminist?
No, please don't put me in a box, Mr. Samuels.
See, first of all, I need you to back up off the camera and recognize I'm talking to another adult, and adults realize that things get put in boxes. We don't do this over here. Everything is subjective and variable, and everybody's a special snowflake. There are general things that are generally true, and if that's not what we're going to do, then we can't have a conversation because there's nothing to be talked about.
Okay, so then no.
You're a supporter
would not
of women.
consider myself-
You're a supporter of women. What does that mean?
That means that I understand where women are coming from when they talk to you the way they do.
Really?
I get it. I get it. I would not. I think that we, or the women that I've seen speaking to you, maybe getting in their, getting emotional about things. But I understand why people could get emotional.
Yeah, because they're wrong. Generally because they're wrong and they're losing the argument.
Or maybe something that they haven't identified about themselves is, being triggered, and they may not understand what that is.
Either way, wrong, not win. People who are winning an argument don't typically get in their emotions. Because see, I get spoken to by several groups of women.
Right.
But the women you tend to folks who tend to focus on are the ones that are combative and argumentative.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't see. I really did not expect. So, okay, so
Mars Blackman.
back to the original or where do we go now? Where do we go?
Where's Michael Jordan? Man? I saw you on this Nike commercial back in 1984. That was the shit.
You go.
No, seriously though. Seriously, you say you're a supporter of women.
Yes.
I'm a big supporter of women.
Oh, I think you know what?
No, I'm a supporter of women. I'm a supporter of your rightful place.
Okay.
Where is that?
I would like to know what you think too. I mean, my right.
No. Where is a woman's? Are you a Christian?
It's a yes or no question.
I grew up Christian.
Are you are you still a Christian? Are you a practicing Christian or not?
No.
All right. What is a woman's place on the planet then?
Thriving and surviving. Well, I mean, I don't, you know what? Your questions are so.
What can a woman survive? What can a single solitary woman survive on her own in nature?
I mean, I guess if that's the case, then we need a partner to continue life.
You cannot, no. When I ask you where is a woman's natural place in society, you say thriving and surviving. And the next question I ask you is where can a woman do that on her own? And you contradict that point, meaning your point isn't thriving and surviving. Your point is under your men. Because without us, you can't survive. Without you, we simply can't reproduce.
Well, what if so in order to survive, that means that I would need to learn how to grow my food, drink, get water, set up some traps or something so that something.
Okay, so let's start with number one. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Do you know how to build a fire?
Yes.
Okay, so what state do you live in?
I have a tool. There are tools.
What state do you live in?
Michigan.
Michigan. Detroit area?
Yes.
All right, so if all the water shut down right now, where would you go get water?
I would have to go up north to the fresh lakes, to the lakes.
Okay.
It's a lot of lakes around here.
Mm-hmm. And how far is that from
you? The freshest lake that I would drink from, maybe 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours to get water. Okay. You go drive 2.5 hours. All right. Now, the power grids and everything else shut down. No man's running it. It's just women. You go out there and you get the water. Then what do you do with it after you acquired the water? What do you do with it?
I would drink it. I would store it.
And you would die.
Why, Mr. Samuels?
Well, you tell me. You think you can just drink lake water? Yes, you do. Yeah, and you would die. The microbes, the bacteria will kill you.
Okay. But why are we going so survivalist with this right now?
Because it's the point of you women you can't survive without us because you can't even get the basic things. You can breathe because the creator is giving you enough oxygen. With water and food, you said I would have to get my own water, grow my own food. Before you could even grow your food, you die of thirst in 72 hours because as soon as you drove 2.5 hours up to the lake, burning up your gas, burning up your finite resources, you go to the lake, take the water, and because men have civilized the world in general, y'all just think, just drink. And as soon as you do that, you be dead. The microbes, the bacteria, knock you out.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Samuels.
Man, I've just shown you, just like so many women, you guys, because you can turn on a light, you don't realize that you need us for survival. It is not even your instinct to think about how, your instinct is just this, women's natural instinct is to say, there's water, is the water safe? Is the water potable? Y'all don't even think this anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? I think there's a lot of men, especially like.
And I was about to say exactly. Here's what she's gonna do next. She's gonna say, "Well, men do it too." But see, here's the thing: if the man were to drive up 2 hours, there'd be another man with him saying, "You can't drink that." We understand how to manipulate. Listen, man.
Look, I don't want you to think I don't need you. I need you.
It's not. So when I said that woman's natural place is under her men, not thriving and surviving. Your place is with us, or else you don't live.
Okay.
Don't say all men, don't say all women. I'm going to say all men, I'm going to say all women. Because the bottom line is this. Women have gotten to a place in the world to where you honestly, men are to you guys, it's like almost a luxury until you realize that unless you're making enough money to replace 2 incomes, how are you going to get from the age of 65 to 85? Do you have enough money to survive? Or, like most women,
the government, somebody will do it for us. Men live in a world that we know that nobody's coming to save us.
Okay. I have no issue with saying that women need men, but I just, I mean, I would disagree with you when you say that you don't need us and you just need us to reproduce. I mean, that's a continuation.
We don't need you to
how
survive.
That's
we
how
don't need you to survive.
Okay.
That's why I said we don't need you to survive. See, why am I making this point? Because many modern women think men are a luxury instead of a necessity. I said many modern women think men are a luxury because you have a job and because you could earn money. But women who think like this, their man is the government, the system. If someone were to come to their house, their apartment, whatever, and to try to enter it, the first thing they would do is pick up the phone and dial 911. They would not expect a woman to show up. They would expect a man to come. If it was on fire, they'd call the fire department. They would not expect a woman to show up. They'd expect a man to come. Everything that a man used to do has been outsourced just because you could pay for it. So now it's like, well, I'll only pick a man that I like. He has to be this, he has to be that. Instead of having a man for survival. The average woman earns what in this country? Less than $30,000.
Okay.
So even if you take in our community, let's say the average woman, let's just say for sake of argument, $50,000, and that's high. How does a woman get from one part of life to the end of life on a $50,000 income after retirement?
Am I supposed to? I just feel like you have the answer for everything.
Well, I want to know. She's made $50,000 every year. At 65, she has to retire. How does she go from 65 to 85?
I mean, there's multiple ways to make streams of income. Like, I pride myself on how many streams of income I have. Like, there's so many options.
I just said she made $50,000, man. Like, most women don't have multiple streams of income. Most people have one stream of income. It's a job. She made $50,000 off of however many streams, $50,000. And that's almost twice as much as the average woman makes. At 65, retirement age, how does she live the next 20 years?
It's just so many options. You can invest your money. You can like right now, crypto is a great game to hop in.
You're not getting it. You're not getting it. If she's made $50,000, she's able to pay her rent, mortgage, a car note. She's living effectively paycheck to paycheck. Ma'am, in Detroit, you are not living high on the hog at $50,000. There's no investments at $50,000. It's paycheck to paycheck. It's $1,000 a week.
Right, but what I'm saying is she can take some of that money, right? That she doesn't have to spend all of that money that
yes, she does.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Okay, let's talk about it. How much? Okay,
no, because you would have to live below your means, so that you can save.
How many people making $50,000 a year in this country have investments?
I mean, I don't know, Mr. Samuels. I don't know.
What I'm telling you is, what I'm showing you, and that's my point is, the average cost to live, that is why you need two incomes, because it is physically impossible to get enough money post-retirement on one salary. So if a woman is making $50,000, even if she has an apartment and it's $1,500 a month, that's $18,000 a year in a car note. At $50,000, you're bringing home after taxes, what, 35, 36? That's $3,000 a month. If your rent is 30 to 40% of that, car, utilities, groceries, health, and insurance, you're not getting rich. It's paycheck to paycheck, effectively the working poor. And that means if nothing happens and she just has to retire, she's not had any, can't invest any money if you're living paycheck to paycheck. There's no investments. So that means when the income stops, where's the next 20 years of money going to come from? And what you're showing is that we don't know. We're not planning for it. We don't have enough.
I think that, I mean, people know there are women, there are multiple people who know how to live below their means. There are people who know how to, get into real estate or things
Man, what's the
that
average net worth of what is the average net worth of a 40-year-old black woman in this country?
40-year-old. Oh, so
40-year-old black woman in this country. What's her net worth?
I don't know, 60,000. I'm guessing.
$5.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
1, 2, 3, 4, $5.
Oh, net worth. Gotcha. Okay, that's terrible.
It's reality. In the black community, our dollar circulates less than 6 hours. In the next community, it circulates 7 days. Ma'am, what I'm saying is to women, you cannot afford to not have a man. You're going, unless you're making $125,000 or more from age 35 on through, you're not going to have enough money to invest, to save, to do anything, to have any kind of retirement. And that's the point, because the world has told women you can have everything and that the end will never come. Women tend to think, just like the water example, that it's simple. It's not. If you make $50,000 as a woman by yourself, women cost more as they age. This is why our community is jacked up, and our women, due respect, the questions I'm asking really shouldn't be hard. But because no one's made our women sit down and run the numbers of, all right, if you're not gonna be with a man, you're gonna have a cat. Who's gonna pay the bills? You and your cat, who's gonna pay the bills? Fair question, right?
Me and my man that I need.
No. But you got a cat or a dog. You can't. You've chosen a cat or a dog. You can't cooperate with a man.
Listen, I didn't know how far we could take it, but if I'm gonna operate in your rules and in your world, then I'm willing to do that. I just thought that there could be another option. That's all.
There could be another what?
I just thought that there could be another option.
My point is, man, unless you are a high earning woman, being with a man is not optional if you want to live to the end of retirement. It's not optional. Unless you're making over 6 figures, where are you gonna get your money from 60 plus?
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted in the comments.
Why are you looking in the
correct.
comments?
Listen, hey, I guess it's just popping up like crazy, all the hearts and everything like that. Thank you for that.
The hearts of the points I'm making about y'all haven't thought about this.
There were a lot of different comments all over the place. I'm laughing.
Okay, all right. You're talking. I'm running the show and I'm not looking at the comments.
Intermission. Let's get this money up. Get these likes up.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve.
We're about to open the call line. Let's see what we got going on. Oh man, we don't even have the likes up over 1,000. Oh man, we got to get the likes way up.
Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work.
Oh, let me help this chick out.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Bye.
Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes tú
Moderators.
solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un
Time out any
interés.
of these
Humano para mí es un deber.
crazy people talking about the best from anything else.
Vendo mi alma, lo
None of that
lograré.
time, no time for
Seré
that.
el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah.
Come on. Again, it's only a problem. It's only a problem if you're outspoken.
Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. Corazón, de corazón.
He shouldn't be saying these kind of things. We've got right to reason to be angry and unhappy. It ain't our fault. Cool, ain't nobody said it was. Nobody gonna put up with it though. Especially not men who've had to work to get to the next level. Luna.
Okay.
I'm trying to have a serious conversation for the community. How old are you? 30 what?
So listen, can
How
I
old are you? I
please
don't
say
remember. How
that?
old are you? How old are you?
33.
33. So what do you do for a living?
I record audiobooks. I work for a tech company. I manage social media. I do gigs.
When was the last time you held a W-2 job?
I currently hold a full-time
I mean, a
W-2
40-hour week W-2 job.
Yes, presently.
All right. Are you making in excess of $100,000 a year?
No.
Are you making less than $75,000 a year?
No. Yes. I don't know. I'm doing my taxes this week though, and that's the goal. I'm close. So for everyone to know.
So the bottom line comes down to this.
Improving.
The bottom line comes down to this. How much, if you never marry, how much money, if you never were to marry, how much money would
We're
you
frozen,
need?
Mrs.
No, you're frozen. I'm okay. I got 5 bars over here.
I'm frozen. Hold on.
If you were never to marry, okay. All right. I don't know what happened there. The bottom line comes down to this. So here I go. You back? You're back.
Can you hear me? If I were never to marry, that's all I can hear. That's all I heard.
If you were never to marry, and you had to retire at 65 and you lived to 85, how much money would you need from 65 to 85?
How much money is that? You said it. You've said this number before.
Yeah.
You said something the other day about $1 million, but then we would.
But I'm asking you at 33, how much do you think? How much do you think you'd need?
From 65 to 85 to retire. Let's just say, so what's that? 20 years. And I'm like not that much of a, so let's just say I would need like $50 grand a year to live off of for 20 years. So then what's that? Like $1 million? Forgive me. I don't know. What's the math?
Well, if you were making $50,000, that's $1 million. And the average $50,000, so that's what I just said. The average $50,000 a year earner will not have $1 million to retire on.
Okay.
They can't make enough. There are no investment vehicles. And you need at least 1.6 to 2.4 because you have to adjust for inflation. There's not enough money to put in the vehicles. See, there's no way to overcome the math. You won't have enough to retire on. I'm trying to, ladies, understand something. Understand something. You have been allowed to go into the world to not have to take it seriously. To be, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that, and robbing people to pay Paul. And at the end of the day, making money, not investing anything. And unless you, and if you're not going to be with a man and really build with a man, and how do you plan on getting your $1.8 million that you're going to need at age 65 to retire? And at $70,000 a year, you won't have it either.
Well, I have a question though. So say
Okay.
there are women who have, who are currently investing and putting money into different vehicles, and they just so happen to fall short of that $1 million, like, so what? Like what? So I guess I just feel like
I don't
you're
understand what
making.
means. So, no, okay. Why does asking about what happens if this woman does have it and doesn't work, does that make you sleep better at night? I'm talking
It's
about
just you
women
make
like
everything
yourself.
so doom and gloom.
No, I make everything so grown goddamn real. That's what I do. And that's one thing that we used to do in our community, deal with reality. And our women, sorry, are delusional. Delusional to the point to where you think that understanding the math of life is doom and gloom. To telling black women the truth that 200 pounds is fat, you are being mean and toxic. We are to the place in our community by simply being honest. You want black men to be canceled. This is how far we've fallen, people. It's doom and gloom to talk about retirement planning. It's doom and gloom. Okay, then. What do you plan? If we never talked about it, would it be better to never talk about it? And then you look up and you're 55 years old and you've got $30,000 saved up, $50,000 saved up, $100,000 at the end of your career, at the peak of your earning potential. Because it's nobody's responsibility.
Forgive me, I'm on my non-invested internet. It keeps freezing. So
Are you on Wi-Fi?
I appreciate the
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yes, I am on Wi-Fi.
Turn off your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Just go to cellular.
Oh, really?
See, one of the things I find interesting, folks, is this is what you hear. A man who sits down and talks about verifiable facts, data, statistics. It's doom and gloom. So what are we saying? That are we saying that it's better to allow black women to live in blissful ignorance? Not talk about it?
No. What I'm saying is that putting forth the effort and having these conversations so that women do know, or everyone knows to invest in these things and to try to have numbers and have goals set to hit.
Everybody knows
retirement.
What you said? Okay.
No, I didn't say everyone knows. I'm saying that the conversation and having the conversation is much needed and much appreciated. The reason that I said doom and gloom is because it seems like if we don't hit that $1 million, then everything is over.
Ma'am, the point is you're trying to do what, if you choose to not be with a man, 1 in 4 black women will marry. The reason women marry is for financial security. 1 in 4 of our women will marry. That means those 3 out of 4 that don't better make the money that 2 people would have made, or else they are going to die alone on the street. There is no government coming to save you. Social Security will be gone. And see, this is what's doom and gloom. I'm asking, all right, if every other woman in every other race of woman is married at a rate of 54% or higher because they know I don't make enough money to live this life by myself. Black women chosen to not marry. So what is your plan for the rest of life? And now that you're just simply asking, acknowledge your choice. You don't want to marry, you want to be by yourself. You can't be an average earner, because what you're really saying is somebody's supposed to come save me for my choices. See, as a man were to do that, I'm going to be an average earner, not have enough money to retire on because I can't cooperate with a woman or whatever. You know what's waiting for him? The street, the park, a tent. It's a serious, sobering reality that our women are not where they're supposed to be with their men, building, saving, planning for the end of life because so many black women act like modern children. Like it's hot girl summer and I'm a black don't crack. And even though I'm 40 years old, I look like I'm 20. You're 40. And you're not planning for life. To where even talking about the stuff that we should be talking about in high school is doom and gloom. Who's going to pay the price for it, though? Who's going to pay the price for not knowing these things?
We all are going to pay the price.
No, women will. Oh, no, black women will pay the price for it. Nobody else. Black women will pay the price for it. Because you got to admit, you've been told, or you tell the world that you don't need, whether not you, the message that the average black woman communicates is, I don't need no man. Fine, then you better earn what you better earn his income. Because you do need a man.
You're talking about the image, the image.
I'm saying you need a man. You need two incomes.
Okay.
To get through the end of life. And if you're gonna say I don't need a man, and you got one income, that income better be 120 plus thousand because you can't do it on what most women make. It's simple math. So, and why is this all important? Because when you start getting down to what's important, this whole notion of being right and he has to be tall and sex got to be good, and all other kind of shit. This is a matter of either living on the street and eating cat food or actually having a comfortable life from retirement to your grave. And we're starting to see the first group of women living like this. Homeless. Dying alone. How old is your mother?
61.
Your aunts?
61.
Are all the women in your family married?
No, they're not.
Are any of them independently rich or wealthy?
Yes.
Okay. And are any of them just average middle income earners?
Yes.
Do you know how they're going to retire?
I mean, you're not going to like my answer. My answer is full of optimism and sunshine, so.
What's that? Either they made enough money or they didn't.
See, there you go. Doom and gloom. There's family, there's love, there's friends, there's.
Oh, so it's somebody else's responsibility. So it's the person that did make enough money to come dig your grown ass out.
No, my goodness gracious.
What does that mean? Family.
That means
if this person over here, this pig built his house of straw. This pig built his house of wood. This pig built their house of stone. So it's the stone pig responsibility for the wood and the twig pig.
No.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. That it's this person over here who made fastidious choices to take this responsibility. I'm saying this because I'm actually seeing it in my family right now. I got aunts that are dying alone, broke, penniless, bad, off.
Oh man! But see, look,
They're the norm.
Nephew.
No.
Don't you want?
No, don't give me that bullshit.
Oh.
Nephew, my ass. Grown damn women who are rebellious their entire lives and still rebellious to this day. You need a car. Here's a car. Oh, I don't like that car. It's too big. It's a free car.
You know what?
Stop. Here's a free car. Person who ain't worked 20 years and can't do nothing and still rebellious. That is our culture. You can't even say nothing because you know it's true.
Well, I'm waiting. Can I say something? I just had this conversation with my best friend about values, right? Because we were talking about how values can be, how people in a relationship have different values. And identifying those values, you know, can help as far as if the relationship can, you know, be compromised, be healthy, you know, just like completely eliminating toxicity in the relationship if you can identify these values. And I think that you may not value love as
I don't give a
much
shit
as
about love.
but
And neither did my
come on,
grandparents. They didn't
huh?
care about love. They cared about survival, duty, and respect. We care too much about stupid shit like love. That's why, excuse me, that's why black women are the last to marry, the lowest married. And when you do marry, you marry less than 5 years about love. It ain't about love. It is about, would you rather have responsibility and duty and get your ass from one end to the life to another? Here's what, y'all can worry about love. Y'all can deal with these Disney notions.
No,
But
listen, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say, let me
Listen,
finish this. Y'all can deal with those Disney notions. Our grandparents didn't worry about love. They needed something else. Go
I'm
ahead.
not talking about love. I'm talking about altruistic love. Love that is all about caring about well-being, not romantic, lovey-dovey love. Yeah, I get that. Fuck that
What do you
love.
mean
That love
altruism? What altruistic love from who?
from the people that are around you. That like, I'm saying like a familial love. Like
You
that's
need
why
a
I called you
family for
nephew.
that.
That's why I called you nephew, because you was talking about your
You,
niece. You was talking about your
no,
aunties
no,
down
no, no,
alone.
no, 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 no. A nephew is not responsible for his aunt who chose to be rebellious. See, that's not what that means. You don't get to go muck up your life and then go to somebody else just because you share a last name and DNA. Because if my uncle had done that, he couldn't go to his niece and get it. See, y'all, black men do not exist to fix your mistakes. If you could
Okay.
not come under cooperation and leadership with a man during your life, don't come asking us to fix it now that you're at the end.
No. Well, okay. Hey. Okay.
Because these very same people, when you try to give them advice, hey, what are you going to do about retirement? I actually had an aunt that passed, and I was like, you know what? You have no children. You never married. I'm concerned. Why don't you get a job, such and so forth? Oh, I ain't got all these jobs ain't offer me what I think I should get. So you need money. Now, you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. You keep some cigarettes. You keep some cigarettes, but you can't get no job. All right, then what happens? I can't afford it. My mom can't afford it. Peter, Paul, blah, 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 blah. What are you going to do if no one in the family? Well, if y'all ain't going to help me, I guess the Jesus house will be there. I'm sorry. So I got to go out and work myself, take from my family, take from my daughter, take from my future, because you got a grown person that don't want to do their part because of no. See, that is not the woman or the kind of woman that my grandmother or my great grandmother raised. They don't recognize these sorry ass women.
I can dig it. You're talking about self-accountability and people being able to take responsibility for their own actions. That sounds great.
Grandmother and grandfather did not have romantic love. They needed one another. And in our culture, women have been saying that they don't need the men, and that's only cool. It's only true if you make enough money to replace his income. You can't say you don't need a man if you don't make enough money to replace that income, because when it's over, where's the money going to come from? And the thing is, many women in our culture have not thought about it, because it's always been something there. The government, the system ain't got nothing left.
It's the system. You know who I'm being when I say that?
I'm just saying. I mean, and I'm joking, but I'm like, when you're 33 years old, do you ever want to be married? Whether you do or don't. If you don't, how you plan on getting to the end of life? That's all I gotta ask.
With a whole lot of love and hope and praying and everything. Like, but honestly, like,
Prayer ain't got nothing to do with this.
look, I'm a
You just
husband.
said you weren't even a Christian. Pray to who?
Pray to God and my ancestors and everybody. And
Hold on. But you're
well, we
not a
don't have to
Christian.
get. We
Which
don't
God?
have to
No,
get into.
stop. I asked if you're a Christian. You said no. So pray to who?
God,
Which
spirit,
God? Which God?
the universe, the whole collective that we are, that we exist in.
Flip it, put it on World Star. Are you serious?
Oh,
Your
I'm
ultimate,
dead.
I
I'm
know, I know
dead
you
ass
are.
serious.
I know, and that's scary. That
Well,
is tremendously
ooh.
scary.
Well, I have my mother is praying for me, my Christian mother and grandmother, and all the Christian women that and men that came before me in my family. They have all covered me with a Christian love.
Jesus Christ, we have failed. Oh my God.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. What do you have for me?
So I wanted to, there were a couple points. I recently came across your page, actually in the last 2 or 3 days or so. And I just thought you have some really interesting topics that you've been talking about. And I happened to notice the topic today. I thought it was interesting, one of the comments that you made earlier today about it's really about it seeming difficult for women who are perceived as alpha females to sort of pair with high value men as well. And I sort of come at this from the perspective, I'm a physician. So I have an undergraduate degree, I did medical school, and now I am a doctor. I don't necessarily consider myself an alpha female. I do think that people automatically make assumptions about me because I'm in a high power community.
What
But
happened?
I think that I'm someone who grew up in a very
So,
traditional type of home.
okay. So, how old are you?
I'm 28.
And when did you get out of medical school? When did you go into practice for yourself?
So I'm 3 years out from medical school.
Okay. So, do you want to get married?
I do.
Children?
I do.
Last time you had a relationship?
Last time I had a relationship, so I that's part of the issue, is that I have focused mostly on my career, and I have never
Last time you had a
truly
relationship?
pursued a. I have not had in your definition, like a relationship
It's not
that's
mine.
carried on, talking to a man more than 2 months. So I wouldn't consider that a relationship.
Nope. So, again, same question. Are you a virgin?
I am.
Okay. That's different. So, is that for religious reasons?
That is. I'm very committed to my faith.
Or you're going to have problems. Are you working? So, your husband's going to have to come from your faith.
Right.
Because what city are you in?
I am in Columbus.
Yeah. Columbus, Ohio?
Mhm.
Oh, Jesus. There are no black people there.
That's the other thing.
So you basically just so you're gonna go die alone again too, because let's take it. You have no history of relationship. You've been to school, a book person. You've blown it off, and now you're 28. You're firmly in the danger zone. And now you would love to be married and have children, but you have no relationship muscles because they're not even atrophied. They're not even developed, and you're going to throw on top a religious preference. Do you want to be a virgin until you're married?
I do.
Then you're looking at an arranged marriage through a church. There are no virgins. No, the amount of virgins running around at 40 years old, 40-year-old men who are virgins, it's just not realistic. And see, that's what I don't understand. Like, you're an intelligent woman. Have you never ran the numbers on that?
I have.
Okay.
And that's part of why I'm sort of doing my own homework on this right now.
Well, it's past you though. You can't do it. You're too close to it, and you don't have the skill sets to do it. if it's for religious reasons, why aren't you? You need to be working through your church, your pastor, whomever, to see if there are men in your faith who are unmarried and still virgins. Because in the big wide world, people are swiping left and swiping right. We're almost to Sodom and Gomorrah. So ain't nobody waiting to have sex until marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, if not, you'd have to go to a matchmaker. But the matchmaker, you're gonna have to put money out up front, and then you'll get a certain amount of matches. And I don't know what percentage of men you think that can make as much or more than a doctor, and they're virgins. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
That's the position.
Yeah,
That's the
I definitely.
that's the position
Yeah.
you've chosen.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a tough position.
Okay, so and where's your father?
My father is. My father is still in our hometown. My father's a PhD.
I don't know
And
what
again,
that. I
that's
don't know what
why.
that means, ma'am.
Wait,
Where's your father? Is he in the States?
he is in the States. He's in Texas.
Do you raise with your dad?
I was raised with both of my parents.
Okay, mother and father were married.
They're married. They've never divorced.
All right.
They're
So
still
where's your
together.
father in helping you navigate through all this?
So I think that I mean I think it's tough being that I don't live anywhere near my parents. I moved out of the house
But that
at
should still be
18.
okay. I get it, but you still should. If your mother and father, okay, your father's still your father. You don't
Right.
talk to him about relationships. That's what I'm hearing.
Right.
Okay, that's a mistake.
Okay.
You should okay because effectively, if you had been talking to your father and he shouldn't have allowed his daughter to get to 28 years old and a virgin, you should have been married early. If you're going to hold on to your virginity, you don't wait till you're 30. So let me make this because I hear a lot of women, especially from women from the continent, who think they can hold on to their virginity until their late 20s and 30s. You got to get married early. And unfortunately, so many women do like you do, stick your head in the book, and time goes by. And then it becomes a Gordian knot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm asking you about all these pieces, and ultimately, you're in charge of it all. Well, your best thinking has got you right here, so that tells you shouldn't be in charge of this anymore. You need help. But that's probably going to go into something else. It's not uncommon for a lot of my physicians or attorneys to have God complexes and control issues. So, that's in of itself another issue. But the net of it is, if you want to be a virgin until you're married, I'm assuming you want your husband to make as much money or more than you.
I think so.
All right, ma'am. How much are you making? You're making six figures plus.
Right.
Ma'am, that's 10% of the men in the country, not adjusted for race, age, ethnicity, marital status, or sexual status. You're looking for a needle in space. Let me help you out. You need to get rid of this list. Let me tell you something else, black women. Set fire to that damn list you have. You're not going to get it. There's no punchline. That's it. Matchmaker Rebecca Lynn Pope, a million hits on this video. Black women's unrealistic dating standards.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time you've ever had this? Anybody tell you something like this?
No, I mean, I've these are conversations that I've been having more and more, and that's why.
With who?
When I saw your
With whom?
with my pastor, actually more recently I was talking with my pastor about it.
Okay, but Who had you been discussing? Who had you been talking to prior to watching my videos? And did my videos prompt you to talk to your pastor?
No, this is something I've been looking into. You know, I've sort of been doing my own homework on the past year or so. I've been
Own
talking to my
homework.
pastor about
Own homework. Own homework. You can't be in charge of this. Is that kind of? It seems like it keeps going past you.
No, I
You
hear what
can't
you're
be in
saying.
charge of this. You do the doctor stuff. Finding your husband is going to be a team effort. And you don't get the list. You're going to take the knock. You're going to have to knock that earning requirement out of there. You'll be lucky. Are you a Christian?
I am a Christian.
You start with Christian and heterosexual. Christian, heterosexual, and employed. That's what you can ask for. That's the basics. Christian, heterosexual, employed, and virgin. After that, everything else is a blessing. It sounds crazy, but you can't. This is not something you can't order up a man. And a man who's making the kind of money you're talking about making he's already with a woman or he's already had sex. And he's not going to wait for a virgin. All the best though, man. I got to get to some more people.
All right.
I'd love to hear about what happens with you, what you decide to do, especially if you talk to a pastor, a matchmaker, or whomever, because you're not the only woman who's kind of in this unique position. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Angelique. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How old are
Hi.
you?
I am 31.
31. Okay. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in the Bay Area in California.
Okay. What do you got for me?
I would just like your insight
All you
and
light
some
brights in the
advice.
Bay Area, man. It's just like, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you cut out. What was that?
I
What'd you
was
say?
saying something. Go ahead.
Okay. I would like your insight on kind of basically assessment and advice for me to find
Are you calling in on
a
the
match.
topic or are you calling in on your own thing?
on anything. I kind of like I'm kind of at this place where I'm single.
All right, but
so
do
I
you
am
have
looking
anything
for
on
my
the
match.
topic? High value men,
Well, I am
alpha females.
I am a single independent. I own and run my own business.
Okay. Go ahead.
So as far as I haven't found anybody that I like is my problem.
You have, as far as a man?
As far as a man, yes.
Or when's the longest relationship you've ever had?
8 years.
How long ago was that?
That ended in 2012, but after that I was in a 6-year relationship.
The math doesn't add up. You're how old?
I'm 31.
8 and 6, that's 14. What age are you counting relationships from?
My 8-year relationship I had since I was 16.
Okay, well, we count from 18. So
Okay.
from 18 to 24, y'all broke up. What? Okay, then after you broke, after age 24, you got into a 6-year relationship?
Correct.
What do you mean you haven't found anybody you like? You've been with 2 men for your adult life.
Well,
Why didn't one of those men ask you to marry him?
well, the first one I was gonna marry, but it was emotionally unfulfilling for me. So
Hold on. Stop.
It was-
Stop. You don't get 8 years and say emotionally unfulfilling. 8 years.
yes,
Did he propose to you?
he did not propose to me, but when we did break up, he was sad about us not getting married.
It
But
doesn't matter.
anyways,
There's
So no.
if he didn't propose, there's no
yeah.
not getting married. Who broke up?
Right,
Who broke
right,
off
yeah.
the relationship?
I did.
All right. And what does he do for a living?
He worked for Toyota shipping department
He
where
did
their
what?
cars come in from the ports. Toyota.
Okay, so you made more money than him.
Well, that was my earlier relationship, so not at that time, no.
Okay, then the next relationship.
Then the next relationship, yes, I made more money.
And what did that guy do?
He did construction.
Did you make substantially more money than him?
Not, I wouldn't say substantially, but like maybe $15,000-$20,000
All
more.
right, so here's where we come at this. You've had an 8-year and a 6-year relationship.
I've been single for 3.
Okay, but what did you think you're supposed to find out here?
What do I think I'm supposed to find? I think maybe, I mean, that's a good question because
Yeah.
I'm at a place where I can provide everything for myself. So I guess what I'm looking for in a relationship now is just another human being that I like as a companion. But I see the issue with that because that's not what most men are actually looking for. They want somebody that is, gonna do what they want to do, basically.
Oh no. What'd your dad say?
What does my dad say? My dad says,
Well, let me cut to the chase, ma'am.
to wait
Have you
for the right one.
okay, were your mom and dad married?
Yes, they were.
All right, are they still married?
No.
All right.
He's
I don't know what
remarried.
you're looking for, ma'am, but you have like an 8-year relationship and a 6-year relationship. You've been by yourself for 3 years. In the Bay Area, therapy would be good. Number one. Number two, if I
Did you
did the
say
whole,
therapy?
hold on, I got more people to get to. If I did the whole height, what dress size do you wear?
12.
Okay, you need to lose weight. It's a competitive market out here. And as an average looking woman, it's nice that you can take care of yourself, but I don't know what it is you're expecting. Sounds to me like you're looking for answers in other people. Because what you said about men, men want you to do what they want you to do. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it sounds like a very immature way of looking at relationships, which doesn't surprise me because you've been with 2 people. You're chronologically one age. You're emotionally far much younger. And you need to catch those 2 things up.
Well, and I understand that. That's why I've spent the last 3 years single, in therapy, celibate, working on myself.
Okay. But where's the gym?
Where's the gym? Oh,
I'm gonna say, let me back up. If
exercise
you've been in
every day,
therapy for 3
actually.
years, unless there's a clinical diagnosis, therapy just becomes another pacifier. There should be forward progress. Nobody should be in therapy for 3 years and no relationship. That's broken therapy. Unless there's a clinical listen, I got other people to get to. Unless there's a clinical diagnosis, it's just another placebo. Dating and mating is competitive. And if you want to have the best shot at dealing with a broader swath of men, being picked by different caliber men, you have to be physically fit and attractive. That's a dress size 4.
But doesn't that
No.
mean that I'm looking for more?
That means you need to be fit.
But
But
okay.
see why and right there is a problem.
It is the problem because
Why?
I think there's just different beliefs.
No, it's not different
because
beliefs. You weigh more than most men. You weigh more than most men. I'm trying to be nice, man, but I don't want to go there. How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
How much do you weigh?
160.
You weigh more than most men. The average height of an American man is 5'10". His weight is 166.
But doesn't that mean
That means you need to lose weight. Why are you still pushing this point? You're fat.
Because not necessarily.
No, you're fat. Look, girl, you're fat.
I'm not looking
You're
for
fat.
insecure men.
You need to lose weight. Men don't want fat chicks. Men don't want fat chicks. You're going to keep pushing me, and I'm going to just tell you. Get off my phone, fat girl. Your big fat ass out to the bay somewhere. There's a reason you ain't with nobody. Big fat ass. You think you'll come on my show and talk crazy to me? Carry your big fat ass on out there somewhere. Well, that's a different standard. Oh yeah, you broke motherfuckers. That's why you had the motherfucker working, shucking oysters, and somebody else unloading trucks. That's what a fat chick can get out in the bay. Why do 4s think they deserve 9s? And since when did calling someone average become an insult? When did that happen? When did it happen that people who were average all of a sudden expected damn near perfection? Shout out to Rebecca Lynn Pope, the reason she no longer matchmakes for black women. And this is far more a thing. Yeah, black men have their men have their fantasy also, but men are checked by the real world. I'm going to talk about male fantasy, this whole poly thing that guys in the middle class, $50,000 a year dudes talk about polyamorous relationships. You out of your freaking mind. You think that's going to happen the norm for average? No. I'm going to get into that later on this week, but this takes priority. Only because the way in which this woman wrote an entire comment wall at me like I did something to her. I'm invading your privacy, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm that, and how dare you, and I see why women don't. Whoa. But normal, average, everyday people wanting 9s and 10s. See, the whole thing is the term 49er is linked to the San Francisco NFL football team, and it's also linked to an ever-growing amount of people, women in particular, who expect and demand near perfection, 9s and 10s, when they aren't that themselves. Let me go ahead and clear some things out. One of the reasons you get 49ers is one, they used to be big. Why do you get 49ers? Well, because you used to have a woman who was overweight, and now she's lost weight or got in shape. A woman that was a size 15 or size 16 who's now dressed size 4. Congratulations. You are a healthy weight for a female. You're just normal. Women used to be 120 pounds. That's not a Herculean feat, ma'am. That's just norm. You have no children. We were watching Love Jones the other day. And we were seeing Nia Long and all these other people in that movie, and you could see Nia Long's collarbones and her waist. The woman on there who was Nia Long's best friend, Lisa Nicole Carson, look her up. This was a really voluptuous black woman in the 90s. She was on the TV show Ally McBeal before she had her mental issues that came up that shortened her career. Lisa Nicole Carson would be considered on the thinner side today, from her waist on down. That was just 22 years ago. So let me get this straight. You can have a normal body, but that does not make you hotter. Just because you drop weight does not mean that your face is any better. That just means you've increased your chances, but you still look how you look. And that's okay. Your resume and your balance sheet only matters to men after you pass their attractiveness, their hotness. Men don't care about your career and the amount of money you make. And understand something. I said it last night on last night's broadcast. It's not like you're a high earning executive. You're an average earner. On the East Coast, all these things are public. In an NFL city, where the cost of living is higher than it is in Atlanta, Dallas, Houston. The amount of money women like you make in that city would translate to about half to maybe a third less. So you'd have to take a pay cut. Now, to take a pay cut, it would be an adjustment. Average looking, average earning, but then you want 9s and 10s. And see, the problem with these kind of women is, with women who think like this, is they look at men who would, in days gone by, would have been perfectly matched with them, but they look down on these guys. They want to try to use them, manipulate them, look over them, shun them. I'll let you listen. And just because a man will have sex with you does not mean he will marry you. Bottom line, ladies, hear me and hear me well. You need to look like his income lane. Your face needs to look like his income lane. The whole having a banging body has always existed. In hip hop street culture, it's called a butterface. She's got a banging body, but her face is trash. We've always had butter faces. Women used to understand that you had to compensate like men if you weren't born hitting the genetic lottery with your facial symmetry. Only now can you have people be out of shape, overweight, and then not be attractive, and then have a bad attitude and still think you should have a rich man. Nutsy. Let me also say another thing. Tattoos, for high value men, tattoos are garbage. They're garbage. High value men don't like tattoos on women, and big tattoos are trash. So let's get into it. Let's see. But before we get into this, guys, we need to get the likes up to over 800. And we're going to need to get the, let's see what we're doing as far as the donations and things like that. Because I want this to be understood. I don't want anybody to be rude. But I'm going to let this play. Let's get them up. Are we ready? Are we ready to go? And because I don't want to get any kind of, and not that I could get a strike or flag, I'm trying to be reasonable. Trying to be reasonable. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do. Let's do it this way. If I play it here, look choppy. But you know what? I'll do it that way. I'll play it to where it won't look choppy. Okay? And ma'am, you're more than welcome to call in after the show if you like. But let's do this like this. See, one of the things that tends to rub a lot women the wrong way is men's directness. And and black women in particular, driven, successful men, you've heard Sister Pope tell you, they're gonna hurt men. Men are direct communicators, and if you expect men to talk like your girlfriend, your little feelings gonna get hurt all the time. Look, man, we all attract what we are. I do, you do, so does everyone. If we keep getting the same or similar outcomes, you got to check the person in the mirror. And far too often, women look at the men as the problem instead of them as being the magnet that draws this stuff to them. Why do I always miss live? I didn't get alerted. You need to set your notifications to all. Okay, but but I want to help my sisters. Being an alpha black female is not a death sentence. You can change. And instead of having me talk about it, next week I'm going to have some attractive, accomplished black alpha females on the channel telling you what they did. I've spoken to them behind the scenes, and because I understand this, sometimes it's hard to hear it from a guy, but one thing, when I have women saying, hell yeah, these women work with women. They follow the platform, and we've found each other through happenstance. It's not, there'll be plenty of people that are trying to tell. He's trying to tear women down. I guarantee you, the women my biggest critics are women over the age of 35. Women over the age of, I would say past the wall, but the wall is 30. But really, when a lot of women tend to really start to hone in on me, is once they have passed the danger zone and they get into no man's land, tend to get offended by the truths that they know exist. So when you hear them come from other women that look like you, who think like you, act like you, move like you, and you can relate to, telling you, yeah, sis, I had to check this myself. And when I check this, things start happening. We can't all be wrong. At the end of the day, my intent is to help men become the best version of themselves and women find those men. The men who want to be in the top 10% and women who want the top 20% of women who want those men. So, shout out to everybody that called in. Yeah, we got to get up out of here. It's past midnight. I'm going to try to keep the show to 2 hours, man. Next week, we go to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Set your clock. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to give myself off Tuesday and Thursday night or play a time to go to other platforms, other panels. Let me shout out to Big Ike. Ike, the channel, the channel man. I will do this. Let me see if there are any other questions. I can read it. I'll give 5 minutes to read questions from the comment section. While I look into the super chats and things like that. That's what I would do. I will give next 5 minutes to answer questions from the comment section. You don't have, every one of us can choose to change. That's the beautiful thing about living now. 100 years ago, we'd have all been locked into our positions. These are first world problems. People can choose to change. All right. Let me go through the questions. That woman in the thumbnail pic. Oh yeah, Chelsea bad. Chelsea is attractive. Chelsea is I married a good woman on paper. My ex-wife was alpha female. On paper, yeah. See, we got to talk about that because far too many alpha females are not doomed. They're doomed. I won't say doomed. Alpha females can survive. They can be alpha at work and not at home. There are plenty of non-black women who are alpha in the workplace and then come home and put that stuff down. Yeah, fellas, stop telling these big girls they're thick. Oh, y'all want to see your girl? The kind of women we're talking about, your boy is gonna try to keep women in front of you that yeah. I mean, say hi to everybody. Bing. That woman. Woo, she's built for bad decisions. Golly. Official fan page of Otasia. Oh, shout out to sister right there. You gotta love a beautiful feminine woman. I'm gonna tell you, in my day-to-day life, when I work with guys, but when I'm out, I'm with women. I love being around beautiful women. I always have. Even when I was a little boy, I love being around beautiful women. They're like beautiful women make life better, man. The air is fresher. Water tastes better. I don't know what y'all tripping on. Y'all can be up around a bunch of big bushy beard, gruff voice. What's up, dude? Man, I do business with you. When I leave, man, I'm going to be around a fine one. Yes. Let me see. Let me help you out. Yes. Woo-wee. Go on, sis. And she rocking that pink too. And if you don't know who this one is, that chick right there is on YouTube. Jenny. Jenny's bad. I just love looking at beautiful women. That just makes my damn day. Makes you happy to be a man. God dog. That's why I will say I don't understand how dudes can bat for the same team. I'm like, what? That versus some. What's up, dude? Call me delicious. Man, zap. All right. Y'all got me over here tripping, man. Yeah, man. When you see a woman who's fit and who you can obviously tell takes care of her body, you're like, whoo. Hamburger Jones. Now, let me tell you something. Another thing, ladies, don't pay any attention to guys who come in here and give ratings. I don't listen to men who don't show themselves. I just say, a lot of guys will show themselves as being just a bit weird. A bit weird, but knock yourself out, man. Yeah, The finest woman you got is on Pornhub. That's sad. Anyway, till next time. Peace. We are gone. She alright, man. She alright. Whatever. Thank you to all the patrons that make this channel possible. You keep the show going, you keep it growing. Join the movement, support the channel on Patreon at Kevin R. Samuels. Thank you very much for everything that you do. Join me in IG in the frat room for videos you will only see there. I tend to go live daily. When they're up, they're up. When they're down, they're down. Email your show ideas to info@bykevinsamuels.com or book your one-on-one personal advice, career advice, interpersonal communication, or your virtual consultation. Understand your style, personality, sexual marketplace value, the basics of a masculine wardrobe. A little bit of everything you need. Yes, I do work with women on some things. If you don't know what hour you need to book, just book the one-on-one customized hour, and we'll figure it out before we touch base and talk. Respect my inbox though. The block is on strong.
Nothing can stop me. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Either way.
Switch the cameras, baby.
No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your goodbye.
I swear to some of you people coming here acting like y'all know me, man. What? Some of you guys, man, I think y'all are closeted. I swear to God. You think I'd have more problem with women, but some of you guys are just like, I need some help, man. Leave a grown man alone. Daddy issues. Peace out.